Galteria.
Perfect. Okay.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets rumble, the bombs bursting in air, came through
Thank you and good evening. Thank you for all being here this evening, and a Happy New Year on the night of the first full moon. Not only has Mr. Trump provided newly engaged Councilman Bob Wildrick and his fiancée Nancy,
Chief Bluin would like me to discuss a few things. First of all, it's the first year for this. The criteria is set by the police department, not by the foundation. We are the originators of the first award, but the chief will discuss what it's about.
Thank you, Tim, John, David. The recipient of this year's award has been a police officer with the town for over 20 years. And this is a surprise, by the way. And for the past 17 years has been investigating everything from simple thefts to burglaries, sexual batteries, armed robberies, the rare homicide, embezzlement cases, complex white-collar cases, organized crime cases, and more recently, the public corruption cases that you've been reading about in the paper. I'm proud to announce, on behalf of the Palm Beach Police Foundation and the Palm Beach Police Department, the recipient of this year's award, Detective Joseph Ricari.
Along with the award this year, there is a monetary award, and the award is $5,000. Joe?
Thank you so very much. I'm very humbled and very proud to receive this award. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. David?
No, I know, that's okay.
David, say something. And earlier this week, we presented an award to Bill Koch, who's one of the greatest friends of the foundation. He's also on the board. Bill is trying his best to be here tonight. He just left New York, and he called me, which we'll talk about shortly. But this was the award that was presented to Bill, as Bill gives us an annual gift at the Oxbridge Academy for one student to go there for 4 years. So thank you very much, Mr. Koch, if you've made it already.
Stand up. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a large round of applause for two of the most generous people that have ever lived on the face of this earth, Michelle and Howard Kessler, and we thank you so very much.
My wife is not feeling that well tonight, so this is the first time I've ever had a microphone in my hand. So we are grateful, thankful, and really appreciate this honor. This is a great town. We've been here 20 years, and it's the best 20 years of our life. So we celebrate tonight for all of you and everything you do for us. Thank you so much.
The one and only, the great Bill Bone, to please come forward and begin our auction. Thank you so much for being here this evening. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. All right, I'll take this. Thank you very much. Now, the excitement does. I don't care where you spent New Year's Eve and where you are in spring. This is the place to be tonight. This is the hottest part of the year. It is the best season party. It's the highlight, and of course, it is a beautiful place to be. No better place than Mar-a-Lago at this time of year. There are a lot of celebrities here tonight. There are movie stars. There are TV stars. There are rock stars. There is the megastar. Is there any other way to describe Donald Trump? I think he is the megastar in America. You know, Eileen Burns invented this ball 7 years ago, and she reigns supreme tonight as the honorary chairman. She really does. Incredible job you have done, Eileen Burns. I'm out here. I'm going to do my best to raise your hand. We need to match $100,000 donated by Mr. Bill Koch. Is there anyone who's willing to do something to contribute to the $100,000 by Bill Koch?
I think we
Mr. Donald Trump, thank you, of course. 50,000, is that what I'm hearing? Thank you very much, Donald Trump. 50, we're only 50
Mr.
away.
Pashkow?
Mr. Joel Pashkow?
Another 50.
And there it is. Can you believe it? It looks like a setup, but ladies and gentlemen, these guys are pushovers
Donald, thank
when
you
it
very
comes to things like this. Let's get a close-up
Thank you
of the
very much.
megastar and Joel Pashkow. There they are on the drop of
So,
a hat,
I would-
another $100,000.
I would like to start out the night by saying it's been about 10 minutes or 5 minutes. We've reached $200,000 thanks to Mr. Donald Trump, along with this fantastic place he has here, Mr. Joel Pashkow and Mr. Bill Koch. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Bill Bone.
Okay, $6,000. Eric Becker's going to be chief for the day, unless, of course, I have another bidder. I have $7,000 over here. Are you bidding Rod Stewart? Rod Stewart, $8,000 for Rod Stewart as sheriff for the day. $8,000. No, Jeff Green raises his hand for $9,000, but Rod Stewart grabs him by the arm and he wrestles him down. Is it $10,000, Mr. Stewart? He raises Jeff Green's hand. He's keeping it down. What is your final bid, Mr. Rod Stewart?
12.
12,000. My God, I'm going to let him start doing the auctioning. That's the man. $12,000. Do I hear 13? Who'll bid against Rod Stewart and bid $13,000 to ride in the sheriff's helicopter? $12,000 for Rod Stewart going once.
Hey, Bill, hold on.
Yes, Sheriff.
Let's describe it.
You know what?
Ellen Herbert. Ellen Herbert. Michelle Herbert. Forgive me, Michelle. You're bidding $13,000. Michelle Herbert, it's against you, Mr. Stewart. $14,000. It's against you, Mrs. Herbert. $15,000. $16,000, Rod Stewart. Michelle Herbert is $17,000. Do I hear $20,000 from Jeff Green. Amazing. Jeff Green, $20,000. Will the Herberts, how about $18,000 for the Herberts? Well, he's at 20, but he's a billionaire. I happen to know that Rick Bradshaw, and did I mention that he was running for re-election?
Stop it.
I'm willing to bet that Rick Bradshaw would let two couples ride in his helicopter.
I'll tell you what, if you'll do 18, and Rod will do 18, and Jeff will do 18, I'll give you all three of it. How about that? You got it.
And who said that public benefits weren't for sale? I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. We have raised $18,000 from Jeff Green, $18,000 from Rod Stewart, and $18,000 from Michelle Herbert. That's one way to fly a helicopter. Thank you, Sheriff Bradshaw. Here he has put the camera on this man, John Cervic, and one of his children, and all of his best friends, including the mayor is at this table. Have you ever seen a lady more beautiful in all your life? Mwah. God, isn't this town great because of Gail Caniglio? She really is special. All right, what was your bid? I can't remember. Was it 10 or 7,000? I think it was, all right, it was 6,000. Do I hear 7? I have 7 for Mr. Miller. Here she is up close and personal. Annie Falk. Let's see it on the screen. Annie Falk with our man, Congressman Alan West. How are you, Congressman? Good to see you. All is well?
All is well, and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, and good to have you here. All right. Very much is John Fiore. Thank you, John. Ira Harris. Mr. Iris Harris. I genuflect to Ira Harris because this is one of the most generous and gentlemanly men in the room. All right, so he's not Catholic. He still knows a genuflection when he sees one.
Hold on, Bill.
Yes.
Hold on, Bill. I got
What?
a live one.
We got a Catholic? I'm sorry,
I got a live
Ira
one.
Harris. All right, what is going on over here?
just want to know, will the chief really cook?
Will the chief really cook? The good news is
Wait. Can the chief cook?
the chief makes macaroni
Can't answer
and
that.
cheese and spaghetti. Is that the truth? Where is the chief? All right, here's the chief. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Ever see, he's like a movie star. Whatever town in America has a movie star for a chief. Do you really cook?
Can you cook? Tell the
I
world.
will tell you, I am from French heritage,
Oh.
and now that I'm in charge of the fire department, I can cook.
Hello, Ambassador Brinker. Isn't this the most impressive table? How are you, Mr. and Mrs. Cole, Mr. Irvin Levy? Look at this, the Gendelmans. If this isn't Palm Beach royalty, I don't know what is. Ira Harris, it's against you, but $11,000, thank you. There she is, my God, never a shy and retiring type. Come out here on the dance floor, Ramona. Here she is, the queen of, well, I wasn't gonna say mean, but God knows she is gorgeous. She's not mean. There's
Smart
no
and nice,
drama.
and I
She's
call it
smart
like it
and
is.
nice. Just exactly the way it is. All right. Do I hear $1,000 to have lunch with Ramona? Yes, I do. Thank you very much. Do I hear $2,000? Ellen Levy. Do I hear 3? Mr. Miller. Do I have 4? $4,000 for lunch with Ramona. Back in the back of the room, I don't know who it is, but it's $4,000. Do I hear 5? $5,000 for Ramona. Not just for Ramona, it has to be lunch with Ramona. Mr. Miller. Do I hear $6,000? $5,000 for Mr. Miller. I have $5,000 for Anthony Miller. Ramona, look at this guy. You are going to like being at lunch with him. He's a good looker, don't you think? Look at him. And this lady's special. But she just wants to have fun.
And turtle time, baby.
And turn the time. Oh, my God. I can't believe I'm doing this. Shannon Donnelly, don't print this. Okay. We're at $5,000 for Mr. Miller. Do we hear 6? Do we hear 6? $5,000 for Mr. Miller going once. $5,000 for Mr. Miller going twice. Ramona Singer. Lunch for $5,000 for the Police Foundation. Thank you, Ramona.
You're welcome. Anything for the police of Palm Beach.
Anything for the Palm Beach Police. Did you hear that, gentlemen? Anything. Oh, and this is Beth Godfrey. You know, Circa has offices all over the world, and we are lucky because they also have an office here in the town of Palm Beach. It's in the Palm Beach Towers at 44 Coconut Row. Let me tell you something about Circa which you may not know. They put their heart and their conscience where their business is. They are the world's largest buyers of diamonds and jewelry and watches from the public. That's right. Over here. 50. What? 15. I have $15,000 over here. I need
Michael
16.
Aziz.
Michael Aziz, of course. Thank you, Michael, for 15. Thank you, Bruce Gendelman. $5,000 for Bruce and Lori Gendelman going once. Do I have 6? $5,000 for the Gendelmans going twice. Is that 6 in the back of the room? $5,000 for the Gendelmans going twice. We have sold the Tampa Bay experience to Bruce and Lori Gendelman, and I'm sure all of their beautiful family. Thank you, Bruce Gendelman. How many people in the world called you on the phone, Norma Tiefel, when that best-selling book came out? Hundreds of people called her on the phone from around the world. It's amazing. So you gotta best me that on 12. Bill Tiefel, former head of the Ritz-Carlton. But I still have, and I have $8,000 on the table in a suit and tie. Bill Koch makes a dashing experience. You know why you're out of the room, Bill? We raised $100,000 because of you and your matching gift. What do you have to say for yourself?
200,000.
You raised 200,000?
You better believe it because of you, Bill Koch.
I thought they were too cheap to come up with that kind of money.
Well said. Ladies and gentlemen, applaud this man, a past Palm winner. Here he is, the one of a kind. This is the nice Koch brother. Remember, the nice one who believes in education. All right, I'm just kidding on that.
Again,
you know your brother's great. It was your buddies here at this
Donald
table,
Trump and Joel
the megastar Joel Pashko and Donald Trump that made the match. Now, John Preston, where are you? He looks like a rock star. He makes Rod Stewart look kind of cool. In fact, they say that Rod Stewart grew his hair out long when this guy, John Preston, look at Rod Stewart. Rod, look here, Rod Stewart, look at this guy. He grew his hair long, and we think you followed. This guy is really cool, don't you think? John Preston. John has pledged $25,000. He's one of America's greatest developers. I mean, you know, if it's out there somewhere, he owns it and they're paying rent to him big time. He has pledged $25,000. All we have to do is match it. Hello, Mrs. Borslow. Are you matching it? Are the Borslows matching the $25,000? Another movie star. This is it with the old Chief Rider. We got all the handsome people. And the Facilios. If you've driven on a road today, the Facilios have built it. Catherine Vasilio, the queen of Palm Beach, and her husband Leo have just given $5,000. I think we're almost there.
We're almost
Have we
there.
matted? Is there? What are we short? Who's doing the math? A nice table. The Kesslers, always Tommy Quick, Paul Lean, Boardman, Jim Walsh, always the pretty people. Hello, Jerry Say, and hello, Madam Mayor. Good to see you tonight. Motor
Mr.
car.
and Mrs.
By the way, how
Thoreau.
many of these cars out there really belong to Donald Trump? And how many belong to Vince Cerrone? How many of those are your cars? Sid Reitman, get in here. Sid Reitman, move over here. Mr. Pontano, move back here. We want this as our photographer here. Squooshing together, Jana Scarpa, beautiful. A round of applause for these very special people, and we're just about to eat. Hey, Bridget Koch is here, my God, and Bridget Moran. It's amazing. Thank you, scholarship supporters. We've just raised another $20,000 in 2 minutes. Thank you, Annie Falk, for coming up for all of these ideas.